Hello. I want to go over the rules and the technique for checking equipment for single ply. This seems to be an issue with a lot of new referees. For single ply is not as common as raw or classic raw. So let's go through those procedures to make sure we've got it right, to make sure we're ready when the lifter shows up at our meet and they're single ply. So I've got the card. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check USPA membership. I'll put the expiration date here. I'm going to check ID card to make sure they are who they say they are. I'm going to verify the age, because if they're under 18, I got to make sure I've got 2 same-sex referees and a parent guardian for the weigh-ins. I've checked that. I've noticed that on their entry card, they are open, single ply, full power. What I like to do is on the back is scratch through the raw and classic raw, so I know I'm focusing on single ply when I check equipment. Next thing I'm going to do, get their opening attempts in kilos. They're going to tell me in kilos what they want, not in pounds. I want to know in kilos. So I've got their opening attempts in kilos. Are they going to be a record or not? If they're a record, I'm going to mark state, national, or world record, depending on the level of the meet on the opening attempt. Okay? So we've got that. They've given me their attempts. I've written them down in pencil because they may change them. And then next thing I'm going to do is have the lifter initial in this block where it says initial. They're going to initial in pen. They're confirming that what I have written down here is what they told me. Then we're going to check the equipment. I've got their shoes. Shoes look okay. They've got a sole. They're good to go with the shoes. I've got deadlift socks in this pile of stuff here. I'm going to check the deadlift socks to make sure they are long enough to come up to their knees. Not always a good point here to think about. It's just because they look good here. Stretch them out. Do they fit up to below their knees? Do they cover the required area for the lifter's legs? And if you're short like me, a regular pair of socks may work. If you're tall, it may not work. So make sure you check to make sure they come up far enough to protect the legs against bleeding and meet the criteria of the rule book. So we've got deadlift socks. Now, single ply still needs a singlet. Single ply still has to have a singlet. So I got to make sure I've got a singlet there for them. Because they're going to need a singlet for the bench press. Check the singlet, just like you would if it's raw or classic raw. Is it all one ply thickness? Does it have any reinforced seams which would make it more than 1 ply? This one doesn't. This one's good. Singlet is good. Got it checked. Now I got a squat suit. Squat suit's probably going to be the same one they use for deadlifts, or they may use a singlet for deadlift. What am I looking for with a squat suit? Is it single ply? If it's not, then it's considered multiply and it's not going to work. Okay? Does it have reinforced seams or reinforced crotch? It's more than 1 ply. That would make it multiply. I want to check the brand. Just see what kind of brand it is here. This particular brand is a TRX. It's an Inzer. It's on the recommended equipment list. It meets the criteria. I've got a squat suit. It's single ply. If they've adjusted the straps, and that's something us short lifters have to do sometimes, the adjustment cannot be more than 2 inches. And so to cross, like a little bunny ear. So they have a squat suit. We're good. I put down the suit. I put down the brand, Inzer. Why am I putting down the brand? just to make sure tomorrow morning they don't show up at the meet with a different suit than they showed me. Deadlift suit may be the same thing, so in this case we're going to use the same suit for deadlift and for squat. And I've got a t-shirt. Just like with raw, classic raw, my t-shirt, I'm looking to make sure, is it a cotton blend? This one particular one has 100% cotton. It's good to go. It's got nothing on the front that's offensive. That's the other thing I'm checking. T-shirt's good. We're going to mark it off. They have a belt. The belt's got to be 4 inches, no more than 4 inches wide. And check the width. Check the belt. It can be a Velcro belt now, as long as the Velcro is not the primary means of connecting. They have underwear. Don't have to have underwear. This particular has underwear. It's briefs. It's got no legs. It's good. Scratch to the commando. This particular lifter has no elbow sleeves, so I'll have to check for those. If they're elbow sleeves, they got to meet the criteria of the rule book. We have no elbow sleeves. I've got knee wraps. This particular lifter has 2 sets of knee wraps. There are 2 ways to check the length of the knee wraps. The most accurate way that I've found is to put a mark on the table at 1.25 meters long, because the wraps can be up to 2.5 meters long. So I measure them on the table, and as long as it meets between that 1.25 when it's doubled up, it's good to go. The other quick expedient way is to hold it up. If you're a short guy like me at shoulder length, it better not touch the floor. These meet the criteria. We're going to say they're good to go. This particular lifter has two wraps. One of them is Inzer. One of them is Titan. I'm going to do the same thing with the second set of wraps. I'm going to lay it on the table between my 2 tape marks, 1.25 meters long. Doubled over, it should be 2.5 meters. If it meets within that criteria, it's good. If it exceeds it, they can't lift it. This particular set of wraps exceeds that mark I put on my table, so these wraps cannot be used in the meet. Make sure you mark that down. I've got a bench shirt. So when we're looking at the bench shirt, I'm going to show you 2 different bench shirts here, because this lifter has 2 of them. Because they're like not sure which one they want to use. Depends on how they feel tomorrow at the meet. So being the smart lifter, they're checking both of them in. So I'm looking at the shirt. Is it single ply material? Same thing I looked at when I looked at the suit. Is it single ply? Is it reinforced anywhere? Does it have an open back? If it's open back, it's got to have Velcro to close it. This particular shirt is an Inzer shirt. It's got single ply material. It's good to go. The second shirt, and I chose this shirt because it has some interesting pieces to it that are important from a lifter perspective and from a checking equipment perspective. This particular shirt, as I look at it, the material is single ply. It's good to go from that perspective. It's got a reinforced collar, and that's okay. A reinforced collar is okay. The criteria there is the reinforced collar can be no more than 1 inch wide. So you got to measure it. Does it fit the criteria? This one's 1 inch wide. It's good to go. Shirt is good. Wrist wraps can be up to 1 meter in length. So my mark on my table, I need to have 2 sets of marks. One set of marks at 1.25 meters, doubled over gives me 2.5 meters for my knee wraps. One at 1 meter. That's the maximum length for the wrist wraps. These particular wraps obviously are not 1 meter in length. They are good to go. This lifter's wraps are good to go. Lifter has no headband. If he or she has a headband, it can be no more than 10 centimeters wide. What's the quickest way to measure 10 centimeters wide? That's the width of your belt. If they've got a headband and it's wider than the belt, it's no go. And when you get through, you're going to print your name print. A lot of people want to sign their name there. Print your name down here at the bottom as the referee and have the lifter initial. They're initialing that what they showed me today is what they're going to use tomorrow. Nothing else. That's why it's important to put the brand name down, so if they show up as something different and they don't check it in tomorrow before lifting starts, then that's a reason for disqualification. Checking equipment for single ply is a little more difficult than checking equipment for a raw lifter. Takes a little more time. Takes a little more attention to detail. Take your time. Look at what they're doing. Check their equipment. Make sure it meets the criteria and go through the steps we talked about today.